You are not ready for this one. In a moment that's already being called the biggest shock of the year, A$AP Rocky just shook the foundation of hip-hop, not just by publicly calling Kendrick Lamar the greatest rapper of all time, but by issuing a chilling warning to the culture. If Kendrick and Jid don't link up before I die, we failed hip-hop. Let that sink in. This wasn't some random interview quote. This was Rocky standing center stage at an invitingly industry event, teary-eyed, emotionally charged, and dead serious. And what he said next sent shockwaves across the rap world. Rocky admitted he's seen something, he knows something. And in his words, "We don't got as much time as we think." Insiders say this speech wasn't planned. It wasn't scripted. It was a desperate plea, a final request. A prophecy wrapped in panic. But the bigger question is, why now? What does Rocky know? And why is this Kendrick's Jid collab suddenly? Life or death? Buckle up, because this story unravels decades of silence, exposes hidden rivalries, and reveals a terrifying new urgency that might force Kendrick and Jid into the studio. Before it's too late, to truly understand why the entire rap world is holding its breath, we need to go back, way back, because this isn't just a moment. This is a collision of legacy, rivalry, and prophecy years in the making. At the center of this story is A$AP Rocky, the Harlem-born fashion rebel turned chart-smashing rapper. Known for his swagger, his confidence, and his unshakable cool. He's been a king in his own lane, a tastemaker, a leader of the AAP mob, and an icon who's always danced between the worlds of art, culture, and music. And yet, never seen Rocky like this. Raw, vulnerable, urgent. The setting was private, but cameras were rolling. An invite-only showcase in downtown Los Angeles. Industry elite, dim lighting, velvet drapes, whispered conversations, and champagne toasts. It was supposed to be just another networking night. But then, Rocky grabbed the mic. No beat, no intro, no warning. And he said the words that now echo across every corner of hip-hop. Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper who ever lived. We got unfinished business. Because if Kendrick and Jid don't do something together before I'm gone, we failed hip-hop. The room froze. Not a single soul clapped. Not a single voice interrupted. Because they could feel it. This wasn't a flex. This wasn't for PR. This was A$AP Rocky cracking open a piece of his soul. So why Kendrick? Why Jid? And why now? Let's rewind. Kendrick Lamar, the Pulitzer Prize winner, the Compton prophet, the man who turned pain, politics, and poetry into platinum. Kendrick has been above the rap game for years now. Not just a player, but a force, a ghost when he wants to be. A storm when he decides to speak. And then there's Jid, the hungry fire breather from Atlanta, the lyrical acrobat signed to Dreamville. The man many quietly whisper could be the next Kendrick, not in mimicry, but in mastery. JID's pen is lethal, his flow unmatched, and his rise has been a slow-burning revolution. For years, fans have begged for the two to collaborate. Subreddits full of dream track lists, YouTube mashups, clips of interviews where Jid smiles and says, "Man, that's the bucket list." But it never happened. Schedules clashed, visions shifted. Kendrick went quiet. Jid kept climbing. Still, the idea haunted hip-hop like a ghost collab that never was, and now Rocky is demanding it. With urgency, with fear in his voice. Why? Some believe it goes back to a conversation years ago. Insiders say that in 2019, before Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he invited Rocky to a private studio session in Malibu. It wasn't to record, it was to talk. Just the two of them. What was said in that room? No one knows for sure, but rumor has it Kendrick told Rocky, "We don't got forever, bro. Say what you need to say. Build what you need to build." And now, 4 years later, Rocky's repeating that same message. But this time, it's about Jid. Here's where the backstory turns emotional. A source close to Rocky's inner circle recently leaked a chilling DM thread. In it, Rocky allegedly confides to a friend, "Been feeling like my time coming. I'm good with what I've done. But there's one thing left. I want to hear K and Jid go bar for bar. I need that before I go." Let that sink in. This isn't about fame. This isn't about charts. This is a dying wish, and suddenly everything changes. Because now it's not just wouldn't it be cool if they linked. Now it's what happens if they don't, and Rocky's gone. What we're watching is a man confronting his own mortality and begging for a final gift to the culture. Not for himself, for the fans, for the genre, for the legacy of lyricism itself. This is a man who toured the world with Tyler, the Creator, who lit stages on fire across Europe, who made fashion moguls listen to trap. And yet in this moment, all Rocky wants is two voices in a booth, Kendrick, Jid. And now the world is watching, breath held, nerves buzzing. Because with that one speech, A$AP Rocky has put the greatest what if in modern rap into motion. And the countdown has begun. The moment A$AP Rocky walked off that stage, phones were already buzzing. Clips of his speech went viral within minutes, not through mainstream media, but from raw, shaky footage captured by stunned insiders. No captions, no filters. Just pure chaos as Rocky's trembling voice echoed. Through private group chats and leaked Twitter threads, Kendrick is the GOAT. Jid is the future. But if they don't lock in now, hip-hop lost its soul. Nobody expected it. Nobody knew what was coming next, and neither did Kendrick, because just 3 hours later, as the video exploded across X, formerly Twitter and TikTok, Kendrick's entire camp went dark. No comments, no posts, just silence. But Jid went live, and what he said lit the industry on fire. "I didn't know he was gonna say that." Jid said on IG Live, voice cracked, eyes tired. "I love Rocky. He been real since day one. But you don't drop something like that unless you're scared." The chat flooded instantly. Is Rocky sick? Wait, what's happening to him? Why you say scared? And Jid just shook his head. "All I'm gonna say is, that man been calling me at 3 a.m. for the last 2 weeks. And he said something last night that shook me to the core." Then he looked directly into the camera. Rocky said, "If I disappear before y'all connect, it'll haunt me forever." Boom, social media detonated. Speculation, rumors, panic. Is Rocky dying? Is this about health or danger? What does he mean by disappear? And why put Kendrick and Jid in the crosshairs? But here's where the first twist drops. Just 1 hour after JID's Live, a leaked voicemail surfaced. A private voice message allegedly sent from Rocky to Top Dawg himself, the longtime head of TDE, Kendrick's former label boss. And it's not calm, it's not peaceful, it's a desperate voice. Angry, emotional, broken. "You're standing in the way of greatness, bro. If you're still in K.Dot's ear, tell him it's time. You can't gatekeep no more. This ain't about numbers, it's about soul. It's about legacy. And if you won't let it happen, then you're just as guilty. 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 Guilty of what?" The internet went full detective mode. Was Top Dawg blocking the Kendrick-Jid collab? And then another leak. This time from a source claiming to be a former engineer at TEED. The post read, "Jid came to the studio in 2022. We set everything up. K was in the building. He listened, said it was dangerous, never came back." What? They were already in the same room. The collab almost happened, and Kendrick pulled the plug. Now fans were livid. comments flooded every Kendrick post. From the past 2 years, why are you dodging JID? We could have had the collab of the decade. Even Rocky is begging now. What's your excuse? And that's when Kendrick's closest collaborator finally broke silence. Soundwave longtime producer for K-Dot tweeted, "Sometimes silence is protection. Not everyone can handle what comes after a moment like that." Now the questions got darker. Protection from what? What happens after Kendrick and Jid collab? What are they all scared of? And then came the hotel incident. One anonymous source leaked a jaw-dropping report on Reddit, backed with time-stamped hotel logs, which allegedly place all 3 artists, Kendrick, Rocky, and JID at the Pendry Hotel in West Hollywood just 11 days before Rocky's outburst. According to the leak, a private dinner was scheduled in a secluded suite. Kendrick arrived. FIRST JID came in 30 minutes later. Rocky never. Showed instead, 20 minutes after Jid arrived, he left visibly upset, per security staff. Kendrick stayed behind and the dinner was terminated. WHY. The leak claims that Jid walked into the room and saw a folder on the table, labeled in red ink, "Untouchables, Legacy Control." And beside it, an iPad, with a waveform loaded up. One Kendrick's engineers refused to play. Sources claim Jid asked, "What is this?" Kendrick allegedly responded, "Something I'll never release." That's when Jid walked out. What was on that iPad? A diss? A confession? A warning? Ever. It ended the dinner. And now, fans believe Rocky was never supposed to know. But he found out. And now, he's sounding the alarm. And here comes the most shocking leak of all. An old text thread between Kendrick and Rocky, dating back to 2021, suddenly surfaced via an anonymous burner account. The authenticity hasn't been verified, but fans say the tone, slang, and format match previous known Kendrick messages. In the thread, Kendrick allegedly wrote, "IFW Jid. You know that, but we too similar. That energy combined might crack something we can't close." Rocky responded, "Maybe that's the point." Boom. Kendrick's fear isn't about ego. It's about explosion. Some fans are calling it the forbidden fusion, like combining 2 elements that once mixed could destroy the whole game. Because think about it. Jid equals the most lyrically agile artist of his generation. Kendrick equals the most critically acclaimed rapper alive. Put them in one studio. The entire ecosystem could shift overnight. Labels get nervous. Brands panic. Gatekeepers lose control. And maybe, just maybe, that's why it's never happened. But now that Rocky has gone public and made it personal, the walls are closing. And this isn't just a fan request anymore, it's a public ultimatum. A countdown, and the question that's burning in every mind is, what will Kendrick do now? You'd think things would cool down after Rocky's emotional speech, but instead, the fuse was lit. And within 48 hours, the entire industry was burning, from the inside out. First came the reaction, then came the silence. And now came the surveillance footage. Yes, you read that right. A leaked security camera video, time-stamped, grainy, but real, started circulating on a Discord server known for early rap leaks and burner insider drops. What was in it? Kendrick, alone, in a dark studio, talking to someone off camera. But the audio, crystal clear, chilling, undeniable. I'm tired of being the answer to everything. I'm tired of people waiting for me to fix the culture. I can't keep holding that torch. If I do this collab, it's over. For a lot of people. Boom. What? Did he mean it's over? What secret is Kendrick carrying? What truth is so devastating that even he's afraid of releasing it with JID? But it didn't stop there. Another clip dropped, this time on a private account linked to a former intern at PG Lang. This one, A phone video. From inside a PG-long creative meeting. Kendrick's voice once again, but this time full of edge. We do this track. We expose what the industry don't want heard. JID's clean. Spy not. They gonna come for me, not him. Let that sink in. Kendrick, saying he's the liability. That a track with Jid wouldn't just make waves, it would expose truths. Hidden truths. But here's where things get even darker. Because someone else speaks up in that video. A voice fans later matched to Baby Keem. And what does Keem say? Then maybe it's time we burn it down and start over. So now fans are spiraling. Is this just a collab or a rebellion? Meanwhile, Jid goes completely ghost. No tweets, no stories, no lives, until his manager out of nowhere drops a cryptic tweet that sends everyone into meltdown. They told him not to step in that booth. But now he's halfway through the verse. What? It's happening? Are Kendrick and Jid secretly recording a track right now? And if so, what exactly are they planning to say? Then boom, we get the next TWIST leaked audio file. Only 11 seconds long, no beat, no tag. Just one voice, Kendrick Lamar. And he says, "This ain't about bars no more. It's about the truth they buried in our contracts." ... Stop. Pause. What contracts? What has been buried? What has this collab always threatened to expose? And then came the insider threat. An anonymous tipster going by the handle Doc Mafia dropped a now viral thread. Back in 2018, there was an agreement signed by 3 major hip-hop label execs. The goal: block certain high-risk collaborations that could destabilize brand alliances. He continues, on that list, Kendrick plus Jid, not for legal reasons, but for influence risk. They believed this duo could redefine what lyrical accountability means: screenshots, blurred documents. One key phrase repeatedly highlighted in red, too disruptive to genre status quo. You are kidding. The system was rigged to prevent this collab. And Rocky knew all along. Which explains why his breakdown wasn't just emotional, it was rebellious. Because Rocky, he's the wild card, the bridge between both worlds. And the only one not tied to the machine anymore. And now, he's pushing for the very thing labels fear most. But hold on, because the next twist, it hits hard. A previously unreleased voice memo from Rocky was sent to several independent journalists anonymously, and one brave source chose to leak it. It starts with Rocky whispering, "If I don't make it to next year, promise me." This track sees daylight. Then silence. Breathing. They told me I'm too loud, that I'm stirring things up. But y'all need to hear the tape. The verse, it's done. It's done, and it's in the vault. Wait, a verse. The verse. The verse. Does that mean Kendrick already recorded with JID? Is the collab not just an idea anymore, but a buried masterpiece? And now, Rocky's threatening to leak it? Just when the timeline couldn't handle more. We get the final escalation. A video from a late-night studio session in Atlanta hits TikTok. In it, Jid is outside the booth, hoodie up, pacing back and forth. Someone behind the camera asks, "Yo, you've really gone do it?" And Jid responds, "I was scared too. But it. This ain't about playing safe. It's about finishing what he started." Who's he? Is he talking about Kendrick or Rocky? And then, barely audible Jid turns and mutters, "They can try to stop us. But once this track drops, ain't no going back." And the screen goes black. Now fans are panicking. What's in this track? Why is the industry so terrified of it? And what will happen if it leaks? Is this a lyrical nuke? A diss? A confession? Or is it something deeper, something that could shift the culture permanently. We don't know yet, but we know one thing. It's real, it's recorded, and it's coming whether the world's ready or not. It took less than 24 hours for the internet to explode, once the secret recordings dropped. And whispers of the vault verse started circulating. The hip-hop ecosystem went into meltdown. Every corner of the culture, from mainstream media to niche underground forums, lit up like a wildfire. And at the center of it all, one question: did Kendrick Lamar and Jid really record the most dangerous track in modern rap history and then hide it? X, formerly Twitter, became ground zero for the chaos. Hashtag release the verse trended worldwide within 2 hours. Hashtag JID.track had over 6.3 M mentions by midnight. Fan threads dissecting every known Rocky quote, every Kendrick lyric, every Jid bar from the past 4 years. And then came the Civil War. 2 massive factions erupted across social media. Team Leg Mays, who believe the collab must drop for the culture, for the message, for the truth, at Dot and Destiny. This is bigger than music. This is prophecy. Let them speak. At Dreamville Addicted, Rocky knew. He tried to warn us. The track is real, and we deserve to hear it before they bury it. Double quotes at Bar Sniper 88. This isn't a song. It's a weapon, a blueprint, a revolution waiting to detonate. Team Celia Siphons and industry insiders who fear the track could create irreversible damage at Rock Nation Ghost. Not everything needs to see the light. Some things were buried for a reason. At Big Musicla, you leak that track and you trigger lawsuits, pulled sponsorships, entire artist careers frozen overnight. At No. Collab, it's not fear, it's wisdom. Kendrick knows exactly what he's sitting on. Respect the silence. Meanwhile, media outlets spun out of control. TMZ, Kendrick, and JID's forbidden verse may expose industry secrets. Source claims Rolling Stone, A$AP Rocky's final request. Insiders confirm vaulted track exists complex, hip-hop's holy grail. Inside the cult fan movement to release the verse, then came the talk shows, podcast panels, and reaction videos, and some of them went nuclear. Joe Budden podcast dropped a firebomb episode titled "Why the Labels Are Scared of Kendrick and Jid." Joe went off. This ain't about music, it's about control. You got 2 of the most dangerous pens in rap, and they sat down in a room. Yeah, labels get nervous, because they know if those 2 decide to speak on the real a lot of these execs catching smoke. Clips from that episode got 10 million views in 24 hours. But then the OGs stepped in. And that's when things got even messier. Nas on Instagram Live, "I've been watching from a distance. Rockies? Right, the game needs that track. Not for charts, for truth." Fans lost it. The Don has spoken started trending. Drake, via a now deleted story. Letting pressure dictate bars is a dangerous road. Just saying. Boom. Subtle, but direct. Now fans think Drake is low-key dissing Kendrick again. Some even say he's worried the track might throw subliminal shots at him. J. Cole radio interview clip. "I always respected Rocky's honesty. And if the homies got something real to say, co am I to say no to the moment?" Wait, Cole's co-signing this. Cue the Dreamville army pouring gasoline on the timeline. JID got the green light. It's happening. Cole stamped it. Then came the shocking unfollow. TDE's official Instagram account unfollowed Jid. And within 15 minutes, PG Lang unfollowed Top Dog Entertainment entirely. What that single quotes is not just shade. That's war. Are we witnessing a quiet civil split between Kendrick's world and the label he came up under? Fans believe this confirms it. Kendrick is cutting ties to protect the collab. This isn't about approval anymore, it's about mission. And right when things couldn't get hotter, a mysterious countdown timer appeared on the official pglang.com website. No label, no text, just a black background, and a countdown ticking down from 14 days. Social media went full conspiracy mode. That's the drop date. The vault is opening. It's happening. They're releasing IT. Even Spotify's official Rap Caviar account posted. Some verses aren't just bars. They're warnings. This is no longer about a feature. This is now about the future of rap. Who controls it? Who silences it? And who dares to speak? The fans have chosen sides. The OGs have weighed in. The media is on fire. And the only thing louder than the noise is the silence from Jid and Kendrick. The silence before the storm. The world is spinning faster now. Every second brings us closer to something nobody can predict. The countdown on PG Lang's website, now blinking red. And with every tick, the pressure builds across studios, streaming platforms, backstage circles, and high-rise boardrooms. Then, just when fans thought they'd seen it all, Rocky makes his riskiest move yet. 1:37 a.m., $1 AP. Rocky goes live. No filters, no warning, no music. He's standing in a dimly lit room, his hoodie pulled low. A candle flickers in the background, barely illuminating a laptop screen. I said what I said, but y'all didn't listen. He pauses. The chat is already flooding. They told me to stop. I won't, because this ain't about me anymore. It's about them, and y'all deserve to know. He reaches down, clicks play on the laptop, and suddenly, static. Muffled voices, then a beat. Then a voice. Kendrick. The live cuts off. Black screen. No replay. Gone in 15 seconds. But it was enough. Screen recorders caught it. And within minutes, one phrase spreads like wildfire. Silence was my savior. But now I spit for survival. Those were Kendrick's words, not in a freestyle, not in an old verse. In the collab, the vault track. Reddit threads erupt. Stan? Accounts go ballistic. And a new wave of panic hits the industry. Because just hours after the stream, an anonymous email blast goes out to journalists, podcasters, playlist curators, even legal teams. The subject line? They recorded. IT and secrecy. The lyrics prove everything. Attached. A text doc. No metadata. Title: KXJ, Unheard Inside. Alleged lyrics from the forbidden Kendrick X Jid track. And if they're real, it's worse and more powerful than anyone feared. Kendrick's alleged verse signed the deal with silence. Not with trust in man, told M I'd play. The role, now I'm off the script, and ran I watched the king's bow. Puppets on platinum strings, but me and Dreamville's shadow. We cut the chords and sing. Jid's alleged response: you can't tame a prophet raised in cipher pits and sermons. Labels tried to bleach my pen. I wrote in blood and burned M now. Said speak. So I opened doors they locked, and if they bury this verse, just know we titchkin like clocks. The culture erupts. YouTubers break it down bar by bar. Fans start printing shirts that say, we titchkeen like clocks. Others post, I cut the chords and sing. And one underground radio DJ in Atlanta plays a bootleg of the leaked beat on loop for 3 hours straight. But it's not just fans reacting now. TDE releases a statement, the first official message since the chaos began. We do not comment on unauthorized leaks, speculation, or internal matters. Our focus remains the safety and legacy of our artists. Safety. Why use that word? What are they expecting? Then, an even bigger twist, Kendrick's lawyer sends a cease and desist to a major hip-hop blog demanding they remove the alleged lyrics from their site. But guess what? They refuse. They post the letter publicly and at the top of the site. They write, "We protect the verse like the verse protects us." Fans go wild. The culture is now protecting the leak. A secret Kendrick x Jid collab has become a resistance movement. And then the final cliffhanger. The one that broke the internet. At midnight, the PG-long countdown hits 0. People expect a song, a trailer, a music video, but instead, just one image appears on the site. A black screen. White text. One line, "If they silence us, find the rest." On track 13. That's it. No song, no names. Just a warning. A puzzle. A message now fans are dissecting every Kendrick album, every Jid project. Looking for a hidden track 13. Some believe it's on the way. Others think it's a clue. But one thing's certain. Whatever's coming next, it's unstoppable. What did we just witness? A$AP Rocky lit the fuse. Kendrick and Jid may have already pulled the trigger. And now, the entire music world is holding its breath, because if that track is real, if the Vault collab exists, and everything from here on out will change forever. We're not just talking about a song, we're talking about a weapon, a statement, a lyrical atom bomb, buried in secrecy, and now threatening to surface. So now it's your turn. The fans, do you believe the track exists? Was Rocky's outburst a desperate cry, or a well-planned warning? Was Kendrick protecting Jid, or protecting himself? Did labels really try to block the collab? And what do you think is hiding on track 13? Drop your theories in the comments. Right now, did Rocky just launch a resistance? Is this the beginning of a Kendrick versus the industry war? Or is Jid the chosen one to carry the torch forward? Hit that like button if you believe this story goes deeper. Subscribe if you're ready for part 2. Because we've got even more leaks coming. We're talking Rocky's private text thread with Kendrick's engineer, Dreamville team member who claims he heard the entire track, and a mysterious UDIO file titled "Lions Don't Whisper" that just leaked to radio. This isn't the end. This is the calm before the next verse drops, so stay tuned. Because the industry might be praying for silence, but the fans? We're ready to make it scream. Make it scream.